Welcome back to OpenLine. Talking about affordability in Nashville. Nashville is booming, but some people don't feel that. There's no doubt about it. Affordability in housing is a major issue. We have with us Rusty Lawrence, Executive Director of Urban Housing Solutions, and Ralph Schulz, Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce President. And I want to ask you, Rusty, and then we're going to go to a bunch of calls here, about affordable housing. You defined what it was,
yes,
and it was a very low salary. What you
yes,
put out there was a low salary.
Yes.
What can we do? What do we really need to do as a city? Are we being intentional enough? It's been in every mayoral campaign, every city council campaign, they talk about it, but are we doing enough? And what do we need to do more?
We need to have a plan. We need to have a plan that responds to the global issue. So the mayor's office some years ago came out with a study that said there was going to be a shortage of 31,000 affordable units by the year 2025. When you really break that down, 22,000 of those are very, very low-income people that only can be satisfied through, or only be housed through, a government agency where there is a rent subsidy. So really we're looking at 9,000 units. So that's not an insurmountable thing. So if you break that up a little bit, you break that up and you say, okay, the for-profit community, let's see you produce 3,000 units in the next 7 years. Not-for-profit community, you produce 3,000 units, and then the city either through itself or through MDHA, you produce another 3,000 units. And that is very, very doable. Now the city does have to come up with some equity, has to come up with some funding streams, and the corporate community needs to come up with an incentive where they create something on the order of a social investment fund, where they invest money into a fund that then is an incentive for for-profit developers to develop more. And I think we can do it. I mean, to me, it's not rocket science. It's something we can do. And the
city, when you talk about the city, you're not talking there about public housing. You're talking about what?
Well, I'm talking about two things. I'm talking about two things. One, the mayor's office, and the ability of the mayor's office to both go after bonds and other types of funding. I'm also talking about MDHA. MDHA, which is our local housing authority, which has a very, very aggressive plan going on now to reconcentrate, revitalize the housing projects, where they're also putting in not only project housing, but affordable housing and then market rate housing. And I mean, I think if all of that is somehow coagulated together, we'll have a plan that'll make it.
And did you want to add something?
The only thing I really want to add is we need to encourage private investment.
Yep.
We have some great nonprofits in town that know how to efficiently create some of that housing. MDHA is important, Nashville Next is important, but don't forget the value of transportation and transit for connecting people to affordable housing. You expand the neighborhood when you create transportation that connects people to the things they need to do.
Yeah.
Let's go to Lucy. Hello, Lucy.
Hello.
Hi, what's on your mind?
Okay, I didn't know if I was there. Well, Mr. Hall, you know me a lot. I just want to say to your guests, I appreciate you coming on, but Mr. Schulz, I disagree with a lot of what you're saying. 29 years of age is what the median age is now. I think if you look back 15, 20 years ago, I think it was 58 or 60 here in Nashville. I might be wrong. I stand corrected if I am. And we all know that with the senior citizen salary, seniors are the people who drive the poverty rates up. So, of course, your poverty rate statistically is going to go down when the seniors have to move 2 counties out of Nashville and there's no hospitals there, but they still have to drive in now to get health care here and boom your economy here. So their Medicare payments are paying for people like Blue Cross Blue Shield, who, by the way, their own employees now can't even afford their own insurance that they administrate. And we saw that coming 30 years ago, that would be the day. say. We are in a crisis now. The problem is here now, and we're not doing enough about it. Fred, I hear you, but Beverly Briley had a brilliant mind. It does not mean that his grandson necessarily inherited that same mind. It's just a name. But we have got to get on top of this. We just opened up an immigration office, and we're changing our immigration policy in the United States to only let in highly educated people for high skills. Then we turn right around on a show like this and tell our kids here, our natives, get a high education for these skilled jobs. You're not going to get them. You're just not going to get them. They're going to hand them off to somebody else who, by the way, they're going to change the visa policy where it's unlimited, not having to be renewed every 10 years.
So now, Lucy, all right, do you have a question?
How does that make people feel? This is 8 Mile Road in Detroit in reverse here. Thank you for listening.
All right, Lucy. All right. Well, again, very passionate. What do you want to say there?
I'll just respond really quickly. First of all, I now get my senior discount without asking. I just want to say that. You know, I think Lucy misunderstood. It's 29 years of age is the average of the people that are moving into Nashville. It's not the regional age average. But once again, there are a lot of us out there in that senior status that want to continue to be able to work for a lot of different reasons. And the more that we create this opportunity, the greater the opportunity for us to continue to be able to do our work. So this really does benefit a lot of people. And then think in terms of public services that are being provided. We are growing our tax base, and we are creating the opportunity to fund some of these programs that are beneficial to the community. So, you know, increasing opportunity does eventually touch a lot of the community.
Let's quickly go to one more call before the break here. Let's go to Mike. Mike, can you quickly state your comment or question?
Well, yeah, I have one comment and one question. First of all, I appreciate your guests being there, but I sort of agree with Fred and Lucy. You're putting a spin on everything. I've heard it. I listen to the news constantly, read the paper. It's nothing but spin. You go where the money goes, all the local politicians. You have a veneer of concern for the poor and the elderly, but it's just a veneer. You can see that. They didn't expand Medicaid. This city is a wealthy city. It caters to the wealthy. It draws the wealthy. That's what they want. All my family and friends have left, and they're highly educated, and they've gone to other places and gotten jobs, and they call me constantly saying, move here, get out of there. And it's just ridiculous, and I'm passionate too, and it makes me angry. And my question is, and then I'll go, does anybody keep up with how many people leave Nashville every day? I know 200 come every day, but all my friends and family are leaving or have plans to leave. So how many people are forced out by this so-called opportunity that we're all being offered? And all my family is highly educated. They have degrees, and yet they've had to leave because of the situation in Nashville. It's uncontrolled growth. It should be based on love. I know that sounds silly. It's not. It goes, politicians go where the money is.
All right, well, let's ask, I appreciate that question. Do we know how many people are leaving? And again, when you heard what he said there.
We do actually track the in-migration and the out-migration. The number we talk about, the 90 people every day in Nashville, that's a net number. So we know we know how many people are going, how many people are coming, and that's 90 people is the net result. We even track this by city. So most of the cities of the U.S. are sending more people to us than we're losing to, and a lot of that just has to do with the opportunity. Again, I just want to say that what we're trying to create here is options for people, opportunity for people. It's part of the reason we have to be so devoted as a community to improving our education performance, improving our transportation, improving that infrastructure that helps people take advantage of the opportunity.
All right, we are going to take a break. We'll come back right after this.